Right, so this will be part 2 for Brutal Nightmare on the Zoo Planetarium. Like I said in the last video, it was open for people to join, and this is the point that somebody had joined. They'd just joined at the end of the last area. They lasted, I don't know, a minute in here, and then the rest is just solo. I've done a solo campaign on it already, but I'll leave it open now in case somebody wants to join and have some fun. If nobody joins, I'll make it a tutorial. You'll see what I mean, he dies pretty quick here. So the rotation that you want to do is, the trick to doing this area is when you pick up this first blast satchel charge, then a load of things spawn. Suicide General spawn up here and on the other side, and some down the bottom. When you first go in, there's 2 commandos down the bottom. You just go down and kill them. The commandos, the officers and the generals and the necromancers are the ones that cause you the most problems in this. So if you can kill them off, the rest of it's fairly easy or fairly straightforward if you have a decent run pattern around. So every now and again, that's that guy down, by the way. So he's just down, he doesn't get back up. So gunners and butchers come in every now and again, mostly gunners later on. I don't think there's any other butchers. But the trick to doing this is you do it really incrementally. So you pick up that gas can, and then all of this triggers, and then more will trigger when you plant it in the place that you need to plant it, which is the other star up there obviously. So if you do that, if you picked up the gas can, ran it up to the top and planted it, you'll get like a double whammy of zombies. If you try and speed run it and then do both of them straight away, you'll just have everything to deal with one go. This way, as I said, similar to the last video that I said, it's not a speed run. I'm not speed running this, I'm just completing it. It's once again solo Brutal Nightmare, so you know there's only so much you can deal with consistently. I mean, you can get lucky and do it all and just dodge everything and maybe pull it off, but this way is easier. So once you're satisfied that you've killed everything, all the elites and all the commanders and suicide generals and things, then you can do the next part, which is putting the bottle onto the blast charge onto the wall obviously, and trigger the next bit. And they do stop spawning, like not the creepers or anything like that. I've mentioned to someone previously that things stop spawning, but I never meant the creepers just because I ignore them, you know, and all the rest of it. They're just an infinite spawn, good for them. So I'm happy that everything's dead now. So the other trick to this, by the way, is herding. I'm calling it herding anyway, so I'll stay on one side for a prolonged period of time just to let everything catch up with me. And then that makes it easier to run around everything. So there's a few points you can stop at, like this is one of them where you just stop there and wait for them to catch up, and then you continue running around it. That way they're always behind you and you don't get trapped as much. So you do that, so after you've planted that, more will spawn. And I never really got too much of a chance to record, like stop and record things in the middle of this, so the last one will be 5 minutes. So this is after I have dealt with the next area where just there's not much that spawns there. So this one, it doesn't trigger as soon as you pick it up, it will trigger once you get up that ramp a little bit. So once you start running the second can over, then things will start spawning once you get up to about here. And then you kill it all off. But I've already done that part, by the way. It's just it took me a while to clear off that bit, so the can returns to where it was originally, which is up on that ramp. But once you got to the top of that ramp, other stuff spawns. Drop the bottle there, kill everything off, and then wait until everything's dead, and you'll be at this part here, where you've got the last can, and then you put the last can on, and then you've got this flamer, which is incredibly annoying, and you've got a load of necromancers to deal with. I kind of messed this up a little bit, to be honest, but it still works fine. I should have just killed the flamer straight away, but I thought I could maybe ignore him, but it wasn't going so well. So what you want to do with the necros is you want to kill them. If they get dropped like that, then just use your rifle while backing away, shoot them, explode their bodies. If you don't completely kill the bodies, then the other necromancers will just raise them. The mistake I made later on in this video is when there's frenzied zombies, the ones running here, be really careful about doing takedowns and using your hammer, because they do a 3 or 4 hit chain where they run up and they go swipe, 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 swipe. The problem is the animation of the takedown gives you invincibility for a little bit, but if they're all running up in chain succession, then they'll hit you. Even though you're doing a takedown, the minute it's finished, you've got maybe 10 hits coming at you. I already knew that, I just took a risk and it didn't pay off. I wouldn't have done that. Should it have been my last revive, basically. If I didn't have any revives, then I wouldn't have done that. I just thought I could get away with it. I was wrong. You'll see what I mean shortly. So yeah, doing it incrementally here, you can see that you're not all that pressured, even though I have been taking damage. I've been getting sloppy doing this. It was actually my first try at doing this since I got in here, so, you know, mistakes happen. This is the bit that I'm talking about. Don't do the takedown when you've got frenzied running at you, because you'll be dead the minute it ends. So that was just silly. So at this point, what I'm thinking is I need some health. So I'm figuring I've bought enough time to execute this dude, and then notice I don't immediately turn around because I expect them all to be behind me. So I'm trying to kill his body there. I think I got it through the zombies, but I'm not sure. I think I'm actually just shooting a hole in the ground there. I don't think I'm actually shooting a body. So the reason I'm turning around here to shoot some of them is ideally I want to get a takedown. Usually I just ignore them. But if I need to get some health back, I will periodically turn around, especially if there's a necromancer shooting at me. Then ideally I want to have some health to tank a couple of hits. And that's where the flamer is getting quite annoying, because he's blocking my way around to him now. So I caught him there with a nice shot. But if you do this right, then it's pretty chill. It's pretty chilled out if you do this right, because you can run around and it doesn't feel overwhelming. If you're just running around trying to kill everything and then stomp on it and there's no real plan of action, then it can be pretty chaotic, that's for sure. And I did that a few times before realising that you can do it incrementally. Just doing it step by step, killing everything off. And there is a glitch in this, by the way, and I actually thought this one had glitched. I was so annoyed. I was like, oh well, I guess I'll do a video demonstrating the glitch. The glitch is essentially once you've killed everything, it just doesn't end, it doesn't trigger for the last bit. So once you kill enough things, the wee pentagrams will come above people's heads to tell you that these are the last enemies, essentially. And then it's over, obviously, but sometimes it just doesn't appear, and you've killed absolutely everything and nothing appears above their head. So like, I was quite relieved when I seen the pentagrams pop up there, and I was like, thank God it's not glitched. And sometimes it tells you to escape the minute that you finish killing the necromancers. But yeah, so that's how you do a solo run on Brutal Nightmare for Planetarium. Good luck, guys.